Alright, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be solving a number of questions on logarithm. Alright, so these are basically jam questions, and I want you to follow along as I solve them. I have about 10 questions. I have written 8 here, 8 or 9 questions. So let's go with the first one. The first one says that the log to base of 9, log to base 9 of 3 plus 2x is equal to 1. So what do? What you basically do is bring this guy to this other side. Bring this guy to this other side. So when you bring it to the other side, what do you have? You have log of 3 base 9 is equal to 2 is equal to 1 minus 2x, isn't it? I subtract it from both sides. So what do we have? We basically apply our rule now. This guy pushes this guy up, and we have equal 3. So we have 3 will be equal to 9 raised to the power 1 minus 2x. So with this, we can go on to saying that 3 will be equal to 9. We make them, we equalize the bases so that this becomes 3 squared is 9, right? So all raised to the power again 1 minus 2x, right? Good. So since these bases are equal, then these powers must be equal. Remember that this one is raised to the power 1, right? Good. So we have 1 equal to 2 into bracket 1 minus 2x. So what do we have here? We can open the brackets. So we have 1 is equal to, we distribute 2, we have 2 minus, this times this, minus 4x, right? So what do? We have that we can subtract 2 from both sides. If we subtract 2 from here, subtract 2 from here, we're going to have 0 here. And we have minus 1 minus this is minus 1 is equal to minus 4x. So what do? We divide both sides by minus 4. So we can divide both sides by minus 4. We will have x to be equal to 1 over 4. And that is our answer for number 1. So number 1 is solved. Now number 2 says that log to the base of 5 of 8 all over log to the base of 5 of root 8. Alright, this is quite simple. Alright, so one thing we could do is first make them bring them to the prime factor base. So that becomes log the numerator. Let's have the numerator first. The numerator becomes log to base 5 of 2 raised to the power 3, isn't it? And the denominator becomes log. This thing, root 8, means 8 raised to the power half, isn't it? So, and 8 is already 2 raised to the power 3, so it becomes 2 raised to the power 3 all times half. Is that okay? From here, so we have this. So, to the base of 5 still, so that we can have that numerator. So this numerator will further become 3 log 2 base 5. Is that okay? And this one will become log 2 raised to the power 3 times half is 3 over 2, isn't it? To base 5. So it will become 3 over 2 log 2 base 5. Is that okay? Good. So we can now bring them together now. So that numerator over denominator will be equal to numerator 3 log 2 base 5 over 3 over 2 log 2 base 5. Good. So we now have some similarity here. So this can take care of this, isn't it? So that we have 3 over 3 over 2. So that becomes 3 divided by 3 over 2. That becomes 3 times 2 over 3. When you change to times, this one goes up and this 3 comes down. So we have this times this becomes, this takes care of this. And our answer is what? Our answer is 2. Is that okay? Good. Let's go to the next one. Now the next one is quite long, so this is what we'll do. Okay, let's solve it here. Let's separate the board. So here we have log to base 10 of 1 over 3 plus 1 over 4. 1 over 3 plus 1 over 4. Plus 2 log 2 base 10 plus log 3 over 7. Okay, so we can basically say that log, let's combine this first to a single fraction, so that 1 over 3 plus 1 over 4 will give us 7 over 12. Now this is what you can do. The simple trick is just multiply this, you have 12, so 12 will be the numerator, and add them together, you get your answer as the numerator. But if you don't understand, now it's simple. What I do, whenever if I have 1 over 2 plus 1 over 5, for example, to get my denominator, I just multiply them 10. And to get my numerator, I just add them 5 plus 2. Is that okay? Good. So that was what I did here. All right. Plus, so that is 7 over 12. Right. Plus, now this becomes, these two go back to where it came from, which is the power there. So it will be log of 2 squared. Log of 2 squared to the base of 10 plus log of 3 over 7 base 10. Since all of them are in the same base, you can bring log to the base of 10, you can collect all of them together and have 7 over 12. Remember, addition here will mean multiplication of those results. So 2 squared becomes 4, so times 4, isn't it? Over 1 plus, that's plus 3 over 7. Right? Everything is log to the base of 10, right? So we can say this will take care of this one, this will take care of this one. 4 rather. Yes. 4 here 1, 4 here 1. 7 can take care of 7. So basically, okay, this is multiplication. Sorry, multiplication because addition of the results. So multiplication. So we have log of 1 base 10. That's what we have here. So we basically say is equal to what? Is that okay? Is equal to what? So you have that. Let's say I'll kick this guy, will equal to this guy. So this guy will kick this guy. So we have 10 raised to the power x will give us 1. Right? So 10 raised to the power what will give us 1? 10 raised to the power x is equal to 10 raised to the power 0. If you remember, any 10 raised to the power 0 is what? Is 1. So since the bases are the same, the x must be what? 0. The powers must be the same. And that is the answer to number 3. Alright. The next question says log of this. Okay, from what I'm seeing here, I think this is going to be a simultaneous equation. Let's see. We have log to base 3 of x minus y is equal to 1, and log to base 3 of 2x plus y is equal to 2. So one easy thing we can already do is just let this guy kick this guy off to be equal to this. Let this guy kick this guy off to be equal to this. So if this guy kicks this guy off, it becomes 3. Becomes 3 is equal to x minus y. This guy kicks this guy off, becomes 3 squared is equal to 2x plus y. Right? You see how that easy is? That's how easy that is. So we eliminate this guy using subtraction, right? We add using addition. This guy plus this guy, we can add equation 2, add equation 1 plus and 2. So if I add this, it becomes 0. So this plus this becomes 3x. Now, this is 3 squared. 3 squared gives me 9, right? So 9 plus 3, is that okay? That is 12. So divide both sides by 3. I have 4, so x is equal to 4. And that is my answer for that one. So we have to find x and y. So if we want to find y, we simply substitute for this guy. So recall that 3 is equal to x minus y in equation 1. So and x is now 4. So we have 3 is equal to 4 minus y. Alright. So how do we get 3 by? So what would we subtract from 4 to give us 3? That is 1 basically. But if you do, what you basically do is you bring this guy here and bring this guy here. So add y to both sides and subtract 3 from both sides. So this takes care of this to give us 0, and this takes care of this to give us 0. So we have y will now be left here is equal to 4, and minus 3 is now here. So y equal to what? 1. And that is our answer for y. So x is 4, and y is 1. Alright, let's go to the next question. the next question says that, it says that log, that's number 5, it says log of 8 to the base of 0.25. Now, how do you solve this? Basically, you say that, and there are two ways to go in about this. You can easily say it's equal to x, right? Now, if you want to know the second, we just go and check the video that I will link in the video description. There's another way to go about this, but this is quite easier. So we'll just say that this will raise this and will be equal to this, so that we have 0.25 raised to power x, that's kick this guy up, is equal to 8. So 0.25 is basically over 100, right? You turn it into a fraction. This guy here 1, this guy here 4. So you have 1 over 4 all raised to power x is equal to 8. So remember that this guy means 4 raised to power minus 1, right? Is equal, all raised to power x still is equal to 8. So and 4, turn them to equal bases. This becomes 2 squared, right? Now 2 squared is meeting minus 1 here. And minus 1 also met x here, isn't it? So 3 different powers. So it's equal to what? 2 raised to power 3 as 8 for you. I hope this is okay. You understand this? So, and 2 raised to power, so this will multiply through, so that we have 2 raised to power minus 2x. Is that okay? 2 times minus 1, minus 2. Minus 2 times x minus 2x is equal to 2 raised to power 3. Alright, so don't go on to cutting it. I've told you that this thing, you don't cut. These things don't cut each other. What you say is, since 2 is 2, since these bases are the same, then the powers must be the same. Is equal to 3. So you divide both sides by minus 2, so that you have this. X will now be equal to minus 3 over 2. That is our answer, or minus 1 over 1 over 2. Is that clear? Good. So, the next one is more like a simultaneous equation as well. And let's see if we can solve it here. Let's try to solve it here. So we have log, or no, there is no log there. That is 2 raised to power 2x minus 3y is equal to 32. And log, okay, of x to the base of y is equal to 2. So what you basically do is, from here, you can turn this to become this 4. This is our equation 1, and this is equation 2. So let's make this guy become this 4. So equation 2 will become, y will kick this guy up, will be equal to this guy. So we have y squared is equal to x. Is that okay? Good. So it means that x is equal to y squared. Is that okay? I basically flipped it. Y is equal to, x is equal to y squared. I flipped it. So we can already substitute. No. Then equation 1. Let's see what happens with equation 1. Equation 1 becomes 2 raised to the power 2x minus 3y. That was what it was. So we can make them equal in base. This becomes 2 raised to the power 5, right? So since the base are equal, then the powers must be equal. 2x minus 3y is equal to 5. All right. So we can now substitute. Because this becomes equation 4. This becomes equation 3. Okay. So we can now substitute y squared. So let's substitute y squared. Sub y squared for x in equation 4. Did you get that? So I'm going to substitute for x now. So anyway, I see x, I put y squared. Is that okay? X is here, so I put y squared minus 3y equal to 5. Is that okay? So this times this becomes 2y squared minus 3y. All right, let me clean this up. Minus 3y is equal to 5. So this becomes a quadratic equation if we bring this guy here. So I'm going to bring this 5 here. It becomes minus 5 by subtracting 5 from both sides. So I have minus 5 is equal to 0. Alright, so I can basically solve by factorization. Let's see if this can be solved by factorization. I multiply this guy, I'll get minus 10. So the multiples of the factors of minus 10 will be 5 minus 5 and plus 2. So if you solve minus 5 and minus 2, if you resolve it, you are going to get minus 3. And so it can be used to substitute this guy. So we have 2y squared minus 5y plus 2y minus this 5 is equal to 0. So we can now factorize. What is common? Y is the only thing that is common here. So when you remove y from here, we are going to be left with 2y. Because y times 2y will be 2y squared, right? So minus, when you remove y from here, you're going to be left with 5. So what you basically do is, you repeat this guy into the next bracket. 2y minus 5. I've told you, bring this guy down, plus, then ask yourself, what will you multiply with 2y to give you 2y? That is 1. Is that okay? Equal to 0. So it means that 2y minus 5 is common between y and plus 1. So, and both will give us 0. So if you multiply this and to give you 0, it means one of them is equal to 0. Either 2y minus 5 is equal to 0 or y plus 1 is equal to 0. Is that okay? Then 2y will be equal to what? 5. So that y equal to 5 over 2. Or y equal to minus 1. So, and that is our value of y. So we can solve the value of x by simply substituting into this equation. So remember that x was equal to y squared, and y is now this guy. So x is equal to 5 over 2 all squared, which will mean x to be equal to what? 5 squared, 25 over 4. That is the answer for x. Or x, since y is also minus, y could also be minus y, minus 1. So x will be equal to minus 1 all squared. So x equal to 1, or 25 over 4. And that is it for number 6. All right, let's move on to number 7. So I'm going to clean these ones. Make sure you copy all these questions if you want to retry them on your own. It's usually okay for you to retry these questions on your own so that you'll be sure that you know how to solve them now. Now, okay, I think this is half. Okay, so we can solve this. Bring this guy here. Number 7 says log to the base of 2 of y raised to power half is equal to log to the base of 5 of 1 over 125. So we can basically say that log to the base of y raised to power half base 2 is equal to, log of y raised to power half to the base of 2 is equal to log of 5. I turn this base to this base. I turn this result to make this base to be equal to this base. So by saying 5 is to the power 3, 5 times 5 times 5 will give me 125. 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 5, 125. So the base of 5. So I have, now, this power can come to the back. So we have minus half of log y to the base of 2 is equal to, the power can also come to the back here, 3 log 5 base 5. Recall that log a base a is equal to 1, right? So this becomes 1. So I have half of log y raised to power y to the base of 2 is equal to 3 alone here. So this guy can kick this guy. Now, we will have to return this guy here. Is that okay? We have to return this guy here. So by returning this guy here, that becomes log of y raised to power half is equal to the base of 2 is equal to 3. So this guy can kick this guy up and to be equal to this guy. So we'll now have, this becomes 2 raised to power 3 is equal to y raised to power half. Is that okay? So from here, now one thing we can do is this. To remove this raised to power half here from here, we'll do the opposite. The opposite is, how do I remove it? It's very simple. I basically just multiply it by 2. And by multiplying it by 2, what am I doing? I am squaring. So I will say I will square both sides. Is that okay? So let me square both sides of the equation. So squaring will cancel the roots. This is a root, raised to power half. So that I have 2 raised to power 2 times this. So 2 raised to power, this times this 2 raised to power 6 is equal to y. So that y is equal to 2 raised to power 6. That will be 2 raised to power 5 is 32. 32 times 2 is what? 64. And y is what? 64. And that is the answer for that question. All right, let's solve number 8. Number 8 question says that 2 log 2 to the base of 4 is equal to x plus 1. So one thing you can do is bring this power back. That becomes log 2 squared base of 4 is equal to x plus 1. All right. Okay, from what I'm seeing here, if I bring this square, there are two ways we can do it. Let's do it for this guy to kick this guy first. If this guy kicks this guy, we're going to have 2 squared is equal to 4 raised to power x plus 1. So if I had wanted to do that, but I just said this 2 squared is log 4 base 4, and it cancels as equal to 1. So 1 is equal to x plus 1, and that might give me x equals to 0 from what I'm seeing. Okay, so it is better that we do it this way, so that this guy raised to power this will give us a good value. So we have 2 raised to power 2 now. We make them equal into bracket x plus 1. Is that okay? 4 is the same as 2 raised to power 2. So since the bases are equal, then the powers will be equal. 2 will be equal to 2x. I distribute 2 into this bracket. 2x plus 2. Okay, basically, I have come back to the same thing. So I can divide through by 2. If I divide through by 2, I have 1 over 2. 1 equal to x plus 1, which would have added directly from it. So this guy comes here. So x will equal to 1 minus 1. X equals 0. All right. And that will be the last question for this. Okay, there's one more question here. All right, with this set of questions, we come to the end of this video. If you did gain value, which I know you did, do subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification, and see you in the next video. Thank you.